All right, Shalom, brothers and sisters in the truth. I'm your brother Moata I'm coming to you again with another Friday Face Against Most Fear. And today we're going to go into the headlines as usual. We'll see some interesting things here. And as we all know, that this is the warning that the watchmen give to the house of David and the potential, hopefully, lack here that's residing here in Great Babylon. Before we get started, I'd like to give all glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the teachers, elders, and apostles of Great Millstone. Also to you brothers out there that put on the truth, faithfully, fearlessly feed the sheep. And to you brothers and sisters that are joining in. Shalom. Okay, we're gonna start off before we go into these headlines here. This is the book of Ecclesiastes 1:9. It says, "The thing that had been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there's no new thing under the sun." And now you're gonna see with some of these headlines, history repeats itself. Okay. Because right now we're in the last days here. Now, I'm just roughly quoting here, as in the days of Noah, where the earth was vile and wicked, we are back here right now, just before the Son of Man, Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Mashiach, returns, okay? And these are good times for us because we know the more wicked this place become, the more judgment hit this place, the closer we are to being redeemed of this place. So let's go into our first video here, and I'm going to share the screen here. Bear with me for 1 second here. And let's go into this first one here. And the first one we're going to show is this. Okay. Okay, so now basically what you saw there was what? Now, a lot of companies, I bought it last week. There was a lot of companies that were laying off. You had that Tesla guy there, Elon Musk, that felt to were laying off 10% of his cost. Now, a lot of these other companies joined. You got Meta, which is Facebook. You've got Apple and Twitter, and a whole bunch of these other companies are now starting to put pause on hiring. And some of them are actually just outright laying off people. Now, these are the major players out there. These are you call them the rock star here in Great Babylon, America, that are putting this information out. So how much do you think these smaller businesses that are impacted with the inflation that's going on right now and the dependency on the low-level people here in society that can't afford to maintain their household for business? Okay, so the news is much worse than Esau is putting out there. Of course, the wicked devil controls the media. This is the book of Jeremiah 51 and 57. It says, "And I will make drunk a princess." And who is a princess? These rulers. Okay, your mayors, your CEOs. Okay, all of you people that are in power here in Great Babylon will be under that title of princess. And a wise man, those are all wise men too, because these are the decision makers. These are the people that have impact on all our lives here. Okay, and it says, "The captains and the rulers and a mighty man, and they shall sleep a perpetual sleep and not wake," said the king, whose name is the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai. Okay, so the Lord of host is a man of war. Okay, again, it's not that damn little devil, Jesus Christ, that people like to put up with that smiling face, that hippie looking devil there. Okay, so you've got, you got people right now. Okay, and we're going to take this. You're going to take this even a little bit further. Okay, we're going to go into verse 58. All right, and it says, "Thus said the Lord of hosts." Okay, "The broad walls of Babylon shall be utterly broken." Now we know Babylon is what? America. Okay, Great Babylon is America. Okay, it's one of the many names that this place goes, the kingdom, I should say, queendom of Edom goes under. And it says, "And a high gate shall be burned with fire, and the people shall labor in vain, and the folks in the fire, and they shall be weary." People now working for what? To put gas in their car. They now have to make a decision whether to put gas in their car, fill up the tank, okay, at $200 for a 21-gallon tank, for these high, these especially these Jays who bought these like sports car, and these people have these big SUVs and stuff, and depending on what state you live in, you have to make a decision between gas in your vehicle or buying food or paying for little Susie's piano lesson right there. So there's a lot of great decision that's going on right now, and people are going to understand. It's kind of like work. It's kind of like how we've been spending our time trying to, fight for equality here in Great Babylon, working our ass off to impress the so-called white man, but yet still at the bottom. And last one hired, the first one fired. Okay. Now these curses are upon, okay, not only us still, but which is being taken off, but these curses now upon these other people, okay, include the dogs that came and licked our wounds, which is these other 16 nations that are here. okay? These Hamites, the Elamites, okay? These Ishmaelites, okay? These Moabites and Ammonites, okay? So that's what you see going on right now. So let's go into the next headline here, because Babylon has, well, there's some terrible things that's going to be going on here in Great Babylon, America. And these people are now just beginning to see the fear, okay? They can begin to experience the fear. Now, this one is, okay? Now, check this out. Okay, so in here, what you would see here, and I'm just going to show a little brief part of it. Okay, so this lady, she's caught up on a zip line, okay? And now she's going to one of these events where she's caught up on a zip line, and it's hanging over her neck. And the weird thing about that, last time I saw that in the news, you know what that reminded me of? Let me show you, of course. Okay, that reminded me of this. Let's see, I didn't show you it to you. It reminds me of this. Okay, so Esau somehow he likes things that hang. Okay, so that's a very interesting thing. It says, this is the book of Proverbs 13 and 14. It says, the law of the wise is a fountain of life to depart from the snares of death. Now, we know this place is the valley of the shadow of death. Okay, Esau lays snares all over the place for us. I mean, there's snares in the food, there's snares in our job. Okay, and I'm going to bring that out to you and show you what happened when you fall into one of those snares. Okay, there's a news article for that, and it's horrific. Okay, there's snares in trusting this man in everything. Okay, and we're going to take a look here. Okay, and this is I'm going to show you this next article here. Okay, and this next article here. Okay, and you've got to see this. All right, so it says Florida man attacked by 7-foot alligator outside motel after mistaking it for a dog. Again, Proverbs 13 and 14, the laws of the wise is found in life to depart from the snares of death. Now, when you look at what goes on here in Great Babylon, America, one of the things that people like here is they like to deal with little dogs, okay? All the little fruitcakes guys, they walk around with little dogs so they can pick up bags. You got dudes who walk with dogs to go pick up chicks. Chicks walk with dogs to go pick up other chicks. Chicks walk with dogs to go pick up, dudes. Okay, but everybody seems to like doggone dogs. And somehow this dude, okay, he somehow didn't, maybe he was intoxicated or whatever the case is. He figured an alligator, he took an alligator for a doggone dog and went to pet it. Because he still like to pet things. He still like to touch things. And of course, he was an Edomite. Okay. And what happened? He almost got put to death. Okay. Now let's go take a look at the headline here. Okay. Let's bring it out. Okay. Because this one is going to be one. This is a 10-year-old in Florida fatally shoot woman arguing with her mom, police say. Now, the way the story goes with this is, okay, two women got together. They were Eves, okay, and they were arguing what one posted on the internet about the other one, okay. And the 10-year-old girl, the mom gave her purse to her daughter. Her daughter reached in and took out a pistol and shot the woman that was arguing with her mom and saying that she was defending her mom. So now they're trying to figure out how to charge this little girl, or whether they even press charges or not. Okay. Now they claim that it's a tragedy. We look at it, we call it judgment. Now let's take a look at how this works. Okay. This is the book of Psalms 44 and 60 says, "For I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me." Now, if you're walking to an argument with a gun in your purse, you're going there with bad intention. If you are walking with a knife in your pocket, you have some intention that you are looking, or you are anticipating that you are going to have to use that, or you are planning on using that if someone, step in your space. Okay. Now we were warned by Yahushua Mashiach about this. Okay. This is the book of Matthew 26 and 52, and it says, then said Yahushua Mashiach unto him, put up again the sword in his place. All they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. Okay, now we know that's when he came to get, when the Romans came to arrest him. Okay, and one of his disciples took the sword to defend him. Okay, I mean, that would be kind of how we would think. We see our master going to get taken down. We're getting ready to fight. That's our spirit. Okay, but he made it very clear to do what? Not to live by the sword, because if you live by the sword, you're going to get put to death. You're going to die by the sword. And this is what happened. That woman got put down by the sword. Now we've got the mother is now being charged with neglect. They're trying to figure out what to do with the child. So that mom is going to go to jail for that child, putting, that woman to death. Now we know that as what? Judgment. Okay, let's take a look at some other ones. With that. Okay. This is the spirit of what Babylon put into Jake right now. Okay, here it is. It says, fired Little Caesar Pizza employee shoots manager after she isn't rehired. Or a document. And here it is, Eve, right there, with the dreadlocks here. Okay, so she had been fired before. Okay, and she decided that she would go back and try to plead for a job, but instead of pleading for a job, she ended up probably, got denied, rehire again. This is working for Little Caesar Pizza. So this telling you the state of mind that our people are in like that. Okay, if Esau get rid of you or whatever the case is like that, and they didn't describe who the manager was, what ethnicity or tribe the person was from, like that. But the fact is that Eve took a gun, okay, to what would be what was supposed to be, well, two adults speaking to each other about making a decision as to whether this person can get their job back, okay. And undoubtedly, from the look at that picture, okay, let me show you again. Okay, she obviously is the type that probably was not a great employee, and she got every intention that day. Okay, it's either she gets a job, she's going to get woman to death, and that's exactly what she carried out. She executed her. Okay, now her life is ruined. See, death comes in many ways. That you don't necessarily have to get in a shootout. Okay, but when you use the sword against somebody, okay, your life is essentially gone. It impacts so many other people's lives. Okay, so that's not the way she do it. She knew the word. She knew this truth. She would not have gone there with a sword. In fact, if she really wanted to go there and try to get a job back, she would go there and talk about, the good things that she did as a former employee there. Okay, and just ask the person to really give it a thought and think about it. Hey, my phone number, call me back, or go to someplace else. But that's when your spirit is in this place that you would think about going to go do harm to someone that does something to you like that. Okay, even if that's the enemy, these Edomites. Okay, we are not to take up the sword to go deliver ourselves either financially, or whatever case is like that against anybody. Period. So she should have just walked away, but now she's going to spend the rest of her life in prison, and that's her judgment right there. Okay, where somebody maybe shank her in the shower, something like that. All right, let's go into the next headline here because it gets a little bit more interesting here. So this is the one here we're going to go into. And before we go into that, I want to go into the book of Isaiah 19 and 14. It says, the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, had mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof. And there, of course, Egypt, which we know is a spiritual Egypt because we are prisoners of war. Okay, no matter what status you're in here, Jake. All right, we're prisoners of war here. And this is a war. Okay, it's a war of the righteous against the wicked. And everybody else here is wicked if you're not from the tribe of Yasharala. Okay, you're not Yasharala, you are damn wicked. These other nations are wicked. Okay, and in particular, the most wicked, which is Esau, the Edomite, the so-called white man. Okay, and it says they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, and as a drunken man staggered in him this woman. Now, this place is as wicked as it can get. Okay, we can go deep. I can sit down here all day. I mean, but we've got hundreds of brothers online bringing out the wickedness of this place and also the judgment that's occurring. Now, let's take a look at this here because, you see, part of living in this place is what? You send your kids to these doggone people. These people are supposed to be educating your kids, but what they're actually really doing is they're molesting your kids and beating the shit out of them. So it says Georgia preschool teachers, that's more than one, arrested after horrified parents witnessed alleged abuse on live stream. So these doggone they didn't even have the they so wicked they didn't even look around and notice that the camera was watching all their behavior all the while. And there's a reason why there was a camera inside here and it caught them. So how much longer were they doing this and how many years were they doing this? Okay. So they're abusing your kids. So where is there really any benefit to Babylon at all? You ask me, you tell me, put a comment in, tell me where's there a benefit here to Babylon. Okay. You can't get an education, even if you do get an education. Okay. And a lot of those kids were actually Jakes. Okay. Mixed between Jakes and Edomites. Okay. And it's kind of like a private preschool. So you tell me where there's a benefit. people molesting your kids. They want your kids to bow down to mandate. They give your kids the LGBTQ, alphabet book. I mean, just wickedness. Okay, I think it was a brother that put out a video where they put the drag queens in right now for these kids to go put dollar down the G strings of grown men. So this is a very perverse, wicked queendom. Okay, and if you hearken and bow down to whatever this man tell you to do, when he always threat, he comes to you like that, and you shaking in your damn boots. Okay, then you are not only going to be a victim of it, your kids are going to be a victim of it. Now, these people are given the power, and the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Okay, roughly paraphrasing. Okay, but there is redemption for those who put the trust and faith into Yahweh, Shai, and Mashiach. Okay, plain and simple. And that's the reason why we can sit right here, right now, go on the highway and the byway, and we don't think twice about it. All right, because see, we are that disturbance in the matrix. Okay, we are that disturbance in the matrix. Now, let's take a look at this next part of the okay. Yeah, I'd like to be a part of everything that Esau does. Now, this is about Dwayne Wade, where it's about transgender daughter still afraid every moment she leaves the house. Now, supposedly this is a girl, okay? Okay, this is a girl, okay, that wants to be a boy, okay? And he's afraid that when she leaves the house that, some boy's going to do something. Now, he has a right to be afraid. Let me give you an example here, okay? Because see, Esau put these things in the movie, and then I'm going to go discuss it for about a minute here. I don't want to be here all day. Take up your time because I know you got things to do. But let's take a look at this here. All right. Now he's afraid of that. Okay. Now, obviously, look at the way he's dressed. Obviously, this is a household that's run by a doggone female, and this female is this Gabrielle, whatever the hell her name is. I don't really get into Hollywood stars and stuff like that. I really don't get into TV, so I could care less about her name. But take a look at this. Remember this movie? Now, some of you might not be old enough to remember this movie. Now, this is Hilary Swank who starred in this movie. It's a great movie in the 1990s called Boys Don't Cry. And in this movie, okay, bring it back. Okay, in this movie, she had an affection for girls. Okay, so it was a girl that had an affection for girls. So what she did, she cut her hair short, and she would pretend that she was a boy. She would put a cucumber down inside her trousers to make it seem like she had a penis. And she had several girls that really thought she was a dude. And they really like her. Why? Because as a girl, she understood the needs of women, okay, of other girls. She understood their mentality and everything like that. So she was the ultimate boyfriend. Well, as it turned out, there was some suspicion that this dude who actually hung out with the brothers of these girls wasn't really, what it take out to be. So one day, the brothers, a couple of these guys, they got her out there, who she was hanging out with, and they brought her out there, and they start to like, hey, let's see what you're really all about. And they pull her clothes off and realize that she was a girl. You know what they did to her? They raped her. They gang raped her. 6 of them. They gang raped her. So this is what you got to think about right here. Why did Esau put a movie like that? Because it happened in real. So this transgender thing isn't something brand new. It's just making more mainstream right now. Remember, Esau likes to do what's called gradualism. And so right now, it's just nobody's thinking about it. But that movie came on in the 1990s. Okay. And that tells you exactly why Dwayne Wade is afraid. Because this is what's going to happen. If men out there find out that you're not really a dude, that you have a vagina between your legs, you might very well get raped by a kinky doggone dude who doesn't consider himself to be homo. Okay? Just think about that. So there's judgment for a whole lot of things, right? There's a whole lot of judgment, and that's why you have that perverse spirit here. Let's go into this is the book of Job. I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna read this before we go into the next share screen here. And this is the book of Job 4:7. It says, "Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off?" Now, when you see this next judgment, okay, you gotta think about this. Okay, now I'm not putting it up there because, and this isn't to make fun of the guy or whatever the case is like that, or to try to say, I'm being cold or whatever the case is like that. But this is exactly what the scripture comes in, because remember I brought out earlier, okay, from the book of Proverbs. Okay, let's go back to Proverbs again. Okay, remember when I brought up in Proverbs? Okay, and this is the book of Proverbs, and it says, "The law of the wise is the fountain of life to depart from the snares of death." And that's how we lived. So if people were living like this, okay, and if this is a righteous nation, then we wouldn't have to deal with a lot of this, but this is what has to take place. This is a book of Ecclesiastes 17 and 20, and it says, none of their unrighteous deeds are hid from him, but all their sins are before the Lord, Yahweh Shai and Mashiach. So nobody's deeds is hidden, okay? Not Jake's, nor these Edomites. Now let's take a look at this, because you can see just how Yahweh Shai make judgments, okay? Now, it says, wonderful father of three dies at work after falling into melting container, a hard-working teddy bear. And you take a look at him, okay? And he's from Illinois, and it says Stephen Durkis, 39 of Aurora, Chicago. He fell into one of these things. Now, if you don't know what he fell into, here's what he fell into. I'm going to bring it up. He fell into what looked like this. Take a look like that. That is instant death. Imagine that. Okay, that looks like the lake of fire. That's what's coming to Great Babylon, America. That's what Great Babylon, America is going to look like. And that's what the fuel for that fire is going to be, the hundreds of millions of people, wicked-ass people that are here that are enjoying this place. Okay, that is what happened. He was put to death by Yahweh Shai, Mashiach. Now, we don't know what wickedness he did, but again, I put, whoever die, I read, whoever die innocent. Whoever die innocent. Okay, let's take a look here. And I'm going to show you these documents. These are more just real quick, true. Okay. Now it says, police, child dies after father trips on grocery bag while being held. Okay. And you see this Edomite here, supposedly, and they go into the history of this guy, and he's on drugs. And it's him and the mom, they're on drugs. He's holding a child, he walks, and the plastic got caught up on his leg. He trips and he falls and he crushes. Now they go into it and they say, well, there was this child and all that stuff. Now, why would he be that incoherent? Because you know that there's an opioid addiction that's going on here in Babylon, especially the Edomites. Okay, so just like the 1990s, there were a lot of people by their mom and their hair died. You've got these Edomites now doing the same thing. Okay, and it doesn't, matter what position they're in, because all these opioid heads are professional drugs, 6 figures. Okay, but they're drug addicts. Hospital worker dies after struck in the groin by a patient in South Carolina. Okay, and it wasn't Jake in this case that actually got struck in the groin. Okay, now in the groin, if you don't know what the groin is, it's pretty much by your doggone balls. So imagine you get hit in your balls. Okay, that you die. That's a cruel judgment. Okay, now let's go into this other one. And it says mice, roaches in Sanger McDonald's caught on video. Restaurant shuts down temporarily. This happened in Fresno, California. Apparently, this place is infested with roaches, okay, all kinds of pests that carries a lot of different diseases. Now, if you know Fresno, California has pretty much is predominantly what you'll call Mexican. So basically, you could say the Latinos, okay, what they call Latinos, so-called Latinos, okay. So a lot of Ishikar lives there, okay, and Jake's, and it is one of the most heavy crime-ridden part of California, city in California. A lot of poverty, a lot of issues going on out there. And so does that surprise me that you have roaches and stuff in the food and everything like that? No, and that's the reason why you have so many people so sick. Okay? Because that's just only one. I can imagine that this is all over this nation where you have these pestilence that are in these restaurants. Let's close out, okay, with 1 Thessalonians 5 and 14. It says, now we exhort you, brethren, warn them that are unruly. And who's unruly? Okay? Jake is unruly. See, remember, we're not out here for the rest of these nations. We just warn them of what is going to happen to them. Okay, we're here for the hopefully elect. But Jake is unruly. Comfort the feeble-minded, support the weak, be patient towards all men. Now, I want you to listen to this very carefully. Okay, every one of us can be feeble-minded. Every one of us can have that spirit that can come off us one day where you don't have that zest inside of you, or whatever case like that. There's a reason why these epistles, these videos are put up. Okay, there's a reason why our brothers are on the highways and the byways speaking. There's a reason why we engage in watching other brothers' videos. We encourage each other. That's what it says. Support the weak, okay? Because we are in this flesh, and this flesh is weak. We are distracted by the things in Esau, and while we're here in hell, and this is hell, we still have bills to pay. We still have all the tribulations on us. We still have those curses still on us. Okay, we have this man coming after us, setting up the snares. We're ducking the snares the best way we can. Okay, so you have all of these things that we are contending with, us being the poor of this nation. Okay, So we have to support each other inside of this. And that's why I said support, comfort the feeble-minded, support the weak. When any of us are getting weak like that, you watch a brother's video and you get that spirit. You get a demon coming on you trying to get you to go back into the world or do something stupid, like pick up a sword or something like that. You go watch a video, you go back to the scriptures, okay? And be patient towards all men. Now, the patience really is towards us, each other, the people, those who are in this truth. Now, if we're out there on the highway and the byway, if I'm out there and I'm speaking and you got an Elamite or Moabite or an Ammonite, or you get a Edomite, okay, let me speak in English here. If you get a white, okay, so-called white person, Indian, Japanese, Chinese, okay, or who I say, or African come walk up and asking questions or whatever the case is like that. I would be patient toward them with their question, because I will patiently tell them, okay, we are the hopefully left generation, and the rest of you are going to die a horrible death. Okay, and those who are not put to death, you are going to be slaves for 1,000 years in the kingdom. And I will be very patient when I explain to them the kind of labor that they're going to do to build our kingdom, okay? And that me, as your future slave master, I look very greatly forward to laying that rod of iron across your back and making you work for 1,000 years to build a kingdom, okay? So I will be very patient about that, and I will explain to them exactly what their future is and what our future is, okay? So that's as patient as I would be towards the other nation. So Lord willing, you were edified. I'd like to close out by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, B'Kakadash. Double honors to the teachers, elders, and apostles of the great millstone. Also to you brothers out there that are putting the truth faithfully, fearlessly feeding the sheep. And to you brothers and sisters that are tuning in. Shalom.